28th. I think it's February 28th. It's about 7:26 on my way to work. This morning hasn't been terrible, but this morning didn't go the way it was supposed to. I was supposed to wake up and work out, and my alarm, it went off, but it didn't make any sound. And I think I've mentioned this before. I don't know why it happens sporadically on my phone, and it's only when I'm using the alarm for the I guess it's the sleep app. There's a separate alarm that you can set in the sleep app that kind of tracks your hours of sleep and like gives you a report at the end of the week. So it's that alarm. And every once in a while, the alarm will go off, but it won't produce any sound. So my alarm this morning was going off for an hour and 20-ish minutes and was even putting itself like on repeat. And I never heard it. And then eventually it gets to the point where like my body just registers that there's too much light in the room for the time of day that I should be up. And so of course I opened my eyes, I checked my phone, and it was 5:47. And I was supposed to have woken up at about 4:20. So I was frustrated because I wanted to work out and, you know, get back on being consistent about working out before work, just because it always makes me feel better. But by the time 5:47 rolled around, I did not have time to do that, so I didn't. I'm gonna let that go because I kind of needed to get to school a little bit earlier anyway, because we don't have preps on Wednesdays typically because we have our PLC meetings. So yesterday I didn't vlog because it was a planning day for me. So I was out of the classroom and I was meeting with the other two leadership teachers and the administrator that's in charge of leadership to kind of just get things a little bit more solidified and balanced for next year, because I have been doing the brunt of the work on the campus amongst the three leadership teachers. Because the 7th grade leadership teacher is new and that position is relatively new, and 6th grade leadership we just haven't found. We just hadn't figured out what they should be doing. So we kind of spread the work that I mostly do out amongst the 3 grade levels, talked about some things that are working and some things that are not. There are a couple of things I want to go to the principal and add to that conversation that I probably will do today. But I was out all day, which was nice. That was the day that I had to pretty much beg and plead for, which to this day I still don't think I should have had to do that. But a part of that, so the 6th and 7th grade leadership teacher had a half day. I had a full day because after we met, I needed to start thinking about how to organize a color run in my school. So I've done a color run 5K years ago. They're pretty popular, but when I went to CATA last year, I met up with a teacher that's followed me on Instagram for a while, and I think YouTube. And we happened to find each other at CATA and, you know, sat next to each other in a session. She teaches it at a middle school, in the same general area that I'm in. And she was telling me about her color runs that she does at her school and how they're successful fundraisers. So of course I wanted to try one this year. We've never done it before, so there's a lot of things that we have to ask ourselves and put in place. And my point to the principal was I need a day to do that, or I need some time. So I did get that done. We have everything pretty much mapped out. We ordered the stuff. It is a little nerve-wracking because we've never done one before. And it's kind of costly to put on. But the hope is that you generate enough money to, again, make a profit. So I had to keep telling myself and the school secretary, we were just saying, like, we just have to see what happens. And I think I calculated at worst, we would lose $1,700. Like, at worst. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but it's like one of those things you don't know until you try. So all in all, I would say it was a successful day. But yeah, I feel like there was something else I was going to tell you. I'm frustrated with UPS. I'm still waiting on the... This car's just going to run a red light. I'm still waiting on my dress from Ann Taylor Loft. It is sitting in a UPS facility that is about 15 minutes from my house, and it's been sitting there for a week. I was supposed to have gotten it last Tuesday, and I keep checking UPS, and it's still sitting there, not making any movement. I called the UPS customer service number, and essentially it's just an automated system that's telling you the exact same thing that the tracking number is going to tell you when you look it up. So I'm going to try probably later today to speak to an actual person. But that's it for now. It's just morning. Good morning. I'm going to go in and try and get myself ready for the day. I'm ready, just kind of pull some things out and go from there. Oh, I also wanted to tell you guys, that's what it was. That I don't know what's going on. I'm having the hardest time uploading footage to YouTube anytime I want to put it in HD quality, like better quality. So for the time being, and until I have the time to sit down and figure it out and really know what I'm doing wrong and get all the help that I need from Darren, you guys are gonna get videos, but it's probably gonna be in that lower quality. That's not what I want to do. But it's either that or I just don't upload at all. So I figured you guys would rather that than me just saying like, well, then I'm not going to upload at all until I get that squared away. So I'm working on it. I don't know if, I don't know. Darren's given me a couple suggestions and I just haven't had a chance to try it out. So I apologize for the video quality going forward until further notice. Hello. It's 3:20 after school, obviously. And I'm in my classroom. I'm just stating all the obvious things right now. And I am just making sure I have everything ready for tomorrow. And then after that, I really need to commit myself to getting some grades entered. I have things graded. I just haven't had the chance to sit down and enter them. And I need to do that so kids have kind of an idea of where they're at the moment. I also need to call a parent. I almost forgot about that. So yeah, I'm going to, I guess I'll rehash what I did today and then I'll leave and then I'll come back. So just to rehash what I did today in let's do language arts. Language arts, we have a common formative assessment that we have to give within our grade level that's based on a Blvd to 0. So every day I'm doing something a little bit different to kind of get them prepared for this assessment. And so today, well, yesterday with the sub, they practiced the skill of summarizing because, believe it or not, at the 8th grade level, just providing a basic summary is very challenging for most students. I've learned that they have a hard time distinguishing a summary statement from a story detail. So I had the sub practice summarizing with them using a vocabulary assignment. They watched the video, did a read and respond, and then I used one of the resources from vocabulary where they got a short passage, then summarized it using like the 5W strategy: who, what, when, where, why. And they were supposed to also then go on to summarize a Blvd to 0 yesterday. I knew that there was a 50-50 chance that they would get to that, but I purposely put more in the plans than what I really thought they could accomplish so that the sub had too much to do as opposed to not enough. So they didn't get to the summarizing portion, so I did that today. I played the story, let them know that they would be summarizing it using the same format: who, what, when, where, why. Encouraged them and told them you should be taking notes as you listen again. And then afterwards, excuse me, I gave them initially 5 minutes, but in total they took about 7 to 8 minutes to write a summary, which to me is crazy because the summary had to be at least 3 sentences but couldn't be more than 5. So to me, writing a summary of a story you've heard at least once that we've discussed and writing a very brief summary of just the basic facts, you should be able to get through that within 5 minutes at the 8th grade level. Most of them needed more time, so I ended up giving it to them. So on average, I think they needed about 7 minutes. Then I had a couple kids share, and the ones we heard were pretty good. They weren't super far off. There were some that needed a little bit of direction, so we did that. Then I showed them the Disney short La Luna. I don't know if I still have it on the screen anywhere. I don't think I do. And it's a very, let's see, I have so many tabs open right now. It's a Disney short that is about 6 minutes or so, somewhere between 5 to 7 minutes. And I remember seeing it for the first time and just thinking that it was really cute. And it's basically about this little boy who's on a boat with his, I assume it's his grandpa and his dad. And he's young and he's, you know, trying to mimic everything that his grandpa and his dad does, and from wearing his hat to what kind of broom he uses to kind of sweep up the stars on the moon, because they end up going up to the moon. And then they have to sweep the stars off the moon, and the grandpa and the dad have very specific ways that they want to do it, and the boy's trying to follow them because he's like, these are the adults, or these are my elders, so I want to do what they do. And then this giant star lands on the moon, and neither the grandpa or the father knows how to like crack it open and kind of take care of it. Then the boy comes up with his own idea and uses a different tool from his grandpa and his dad, and he's successful at like cracking this big star and cleaning it up. And so we watched that, and then I had them just with their group talk for about 90 seconds, just a summary, just a basic summary of what happened in this Disney short. And then after that, I asked them to just casually identify the theme. They did a pretty good job, and that was all we did. So tomorrow we're gonna build on that some more by looking at Abuela Invents the Zero and doing something called a silent conversation. So I'll talk about that tomorrow. In history, we looked at the Bill of Rights, and that's all that lesson 10 is about. And it's another one of those chapters where I want them to be aware of what the Bill of Rights are, but I also don't want to spend, you know, a whole chapter's worth of time talking about the Bill of Rights one by one. Last year I did the activity in TCI where they had to look at these court cases and figure out if one of the amendments was violated, and they were real cases, and I liked it. It just it's time consuming and it takes time, and I'm really trying to make sure I get further along in history this year, so I'm trying to cut where I can. So this is one of those places. So instead of going through the chapter, today we did a which bill activity. I got this from Teachers Pay Teachers. I was a little nervous because, you know, you just never know with Teachers Pay Teachers. So it's a digital product, but you can also use paper. The first slide gives them just a quick summary of the different amendments within the Bill of Rights, and then they get 15 scenarios, and they have to figure out which amendment protects that right or which amendment was violated. So we did this together using numbered heads together, which is a strategy that I got from some of the Dr. Holly training. So basically in that, I present the scenario, they get some time to talk together as a group, they have to come up to a consensus, and then I choose someone randomly within the group to share their answer and why. So, and that's one representative from each group has to stand and share their answer. So when it came to sharing, I just had whatever seat number I called on, they would have to stand up, hold up the number of fingers that matched the amendment that they felt like was related to this scenario. So if they thought, oh, that's a First Amendment right, they would stand up and hold the number 1. I'd ask them why. I'd confirm whether or not their answer was correct, and they got most of them correct. And then they would just answer, put the right answer on the slide, and then turn that in. So that's all we did with Bill of Rights today. Tomorrow I'm going to give them a poster activity, and that's the gist of what we're going to do. I'll give them a study guide, I'll give them the quiz, and then we're going to move on to chapter 11. So all in all, I had a good day. I can't complain. And I'm really going to attribute my good day to this cute keyboard that I have, and the fact that my classroom smells good because I added a little air freshener in here. So instead of smelling armpits, I'm smelling just the fresh smells of cucumber and aloe, and it's great. So I need to get off the camera because I have a lot of grades to enter. So I'm going to do that, and hopefully by the next time you see me, I've made a lot of progress on getting grades entered. So wish me luck. It's 5:30 and I got all the grades for, all but one of the grades for social studies entered. I haven't gotten any language arts grades except for an AR test entered because I have to grade some things. But I got a fair amount done. And I just need to go home right now because I need to walk Woofy before it gets dark, since I got no exercise this morning since my alarm decided to not go off. So I'm gonna go home. This is probably gonna be a vlog that includes multiple days, because I know when I go home I need to work on some leadership stuff and I don't have time to edit. So I'm gonna end today here. I'll probably take a little bit of footage of me walking Woofy, but that will really be it. Make sure I don't need this before I throw it away. Okay. So in general, a decent Wednesday. I can't really complain. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thursday. I'm on my prep period. It is probably about 9:15 or so. I guess I'll put this down. And I went home yesterday after I signed off for the day, walked Woofy, and took a shower, put on my pajamas, ate dinner. And yesterday was one of those days where I'm super excited, super thankful that I have had the wherewithal to subscribe to the Factor meal service. This is not a sponsored video. This is just a teacher talking about things that she has included in her life to make her life easier, and just buy herself more time. So when I got home yesterday, I was so thankful that I didn't have to worry about dinner. I didn't have to cook anything. I didn't have to figure anything out. I wasn't gonna have to wash any dishes. I wasn't gonna spend money ordering food out because I had those Factor meals. So if you're a teacher that's trying to find ways to buy time and you don't have maybe a family to feed, like it's just me, that meal service is a great option. And for the most part, I've been very satisfied. The meals are great. So I ate and continued to watch old episodes of Insecure. And I had to do a couple things for leadership and got some emails sent, and then went to bed at about 9:30. And here we are for another day. I'm on my prep period. I just finished prepping something that we're gonna try in language arts. We're gonna do something called silent conversations. I've never done it before. Again, this is a strategy that I got from the Dr. Holly training. And we're gonna use this to talk about characterization and Abuela Events to Zero. So what I did over the weekend was I went through the story and I pulled out some quotes that I thought could be useful in kind of having kids think about what kind of person Constancia, the main character, is, or how would they characterize her. So I think each table group has this poster with, I want to say I made 7, or I put 7 quotes on it. And basically the way that it works is that you put the poster in the middle of the table. They silently read it and silently respond to it. And basically they're going to be asked to respond to, based on the statement by Constancia, like, what does this tell you about her? How does this help you understand who she is as a person? Questions along those lines. So they read and they respond quietly. And they write their responses on the paper, so they'll have markers. And then as they read and respond to each one, eventually they rotate the paper, or they I don't know, I guess rotate the paper or move around the paper. We'll see how it goes because I've never done it before. And then they go to the next quote, do the same thing, but then they also eventually start responding to each other, which is why it's called silent conversations. Then you share out. So again, this is a strategy I've never used before. We'll see how it goes. I think it should be good. So yeah, that's what I just prepped. I need to probably call the office because I have some questions for leadership in regards to this color run that I would like to bring to the school for the first time. And I still have grading to do. So I'm really just here to say good morning. Also, just to show you, this is the jacket that I got from Ann Taylor Loft last week. It is like, it's called a tweed bomber jacket. I like it. And I'm just wearing this with a black turtleneck and some wide leg pants. This is not the best look or angle, but I'm very comfortable and warm. Like, there's nothing like some wide leg pants. Like, I look like I'm really trying to be dressed up and professional, which I am, but I'm also very comfortable. So it's a win-win for me. But I need to get back to doing some work. I'll check in with you guys later.
Doesn't matter what she said, like, this is just what how you feel. And then later you can respond to what she said, but right now it's just your response. Oops, sorry.
Camera's on.
Huh? Camera's on?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's your opinion?
I'm gonna ask you in a second. It's 4:42. I have 2 leadership kids in here. Say hello.
Hi.
They can't be on camera.
Okay.
The greatest moment of my day today is one of these leadership students is also in my class.
Yes.
And for her community involvement hours, she's grading a social studies packet. And she is feeling the pain of grading a packet of student work. Not being able to read it. Just how long it takes. She's been here for about 2 hours. And how many packets would you say you've graded?
10, 11, 12.
She's maybe, let's give her 12. She's graded 12
Out of 16.
I think they're like
out of
14.
16. So she said she will never ask me about when I've graded her packet again, because now she understands. So they're here doing that. I'm just gonna let you know what we did. I'm also gonna ask you about silent conversation. So I did the silent conversation with my classes today for Abuela Invents the Zero. I personally liked it. What did you think?
I liked it too. It was like very calm and like there was nobody at each other's throats about their opinions. And you could just like politely say whether you agree or disagree about another one's answer.
Yeah, I liked it. She's in my homeroom class, and then that class, they got to write their thoughts on the poster paper, and I'll show you guys in a second. But they didn't get to discuss with their groups before we discussed as a class, because I wasn't sure I would have time. And Switch, they got to discuss with their group, and then we discussed as a class. And they had some very strong opinions in Switch, because I think they were having to like stifle their thoughts, and then they were able to let it out. And they like to talk, so for them not to talk for 20 minutes was probably a lot. So I thought it went really well. And then the kids seem to be very into this Bill of Rights poster. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it's like one of like it's like a fun assignment. It's not too difficult, and like we can express our creative side.
Yeah, I think that's what I think. I think they like it because it's very straightforward. There's not a lot of concrete thinking. They literally just have to do the 10 Bill of Rights. No. But this is the sample that we showed them. So this is a Bill of Rights poster. My classroom 8 made this because they did it in another class, and she just randomly decided to make hers themed after Baby Shark. So when I was deciding that I was going to do this project, I wasn't going to make them theme it, and at the last minute, literally this morning, I decided I wanted it to be a theme. And I think that's what makes it nice. Like my student here is saying, like, It's very easy. It's like a little art project, and they can kind of put their own spin on it. So they basically just have to list the 10 Bill of Rights. They have to depict some sort of cartoon image with it, and it has to be themed. What's your theme?
It's not done yet. But just little dog, cat, some kitty things.
Oh, hers is gonna be a dog, cat, Hello Kitty theme. So she just got started, and it's due on Monday. So they were into that. I'm gonna take you over here so you can show, I can show you guys what their silent conversation posters look like, but these poor girls have been here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
My back hurts still. Grading. And I'm happy because I don't want to grade those things. They're doing it for me. But so this is what the silent conversation posters end up looking like. So this is the paper in the middle that had the quotes on it. And I set a timer for 20 minutes. That was the silent conversation portion, and they were just responding to each other. I had all of my kids make or choose a colored marker so that I could identify who wrote what and put their name underneath what they were writing, and that worked well. And then at the last minute this morning, I realized they would probably need these 2 handouts, so I also gave each group one of these handouts that gives them 4 different questions they could use to respond to the quotes that I provided, to help them kind of think about Constancia as a character. I think that was important to do. Otherwise, they would have just kind of been floating out there without any guidance. And then I gave them some sentence frames, like how to respond to each other. Like, if you want to express an opinion, how do you start that statement? If you want to ask someone a question, how do you state that? So I'm glad that I had the wherewithal to think that through. Otherwise, I don't think the strategy would have gone as smoothly as I feel like it did. So while they've been grading those things I don't want to grade, I've been grading some things that I need to get caught up on, and I can no longer look at it. Like, my soul just doesn't want to do it anymore. So I'm about to go home. They're about to go home as well, and tomorrow's Friday. Yay. And we're all excited because it's Friday. So I don't think I'm gonna vlog when I get home. I'm really tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog here. So if you enjoyed the last 2 days, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If your notification bell is not turned on, please turn that on. And if you'd like to leave a comment, feel free to do so. And as always, I hope that you guys are well. And if you're not well, please be well. And I will see you in the next vlog. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.